your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Alongside Jamie Lent, I'm Chois Woodman. You can chime in with your thoughts and comments, as a few of you have on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Someone says we go through 4 to 5 gallons of cereal a week. Why? Because Choice makes his kids live off of cereal. LOL.
It was 4.5 gallons of milk, not cereal, for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're eating a lot of cereal, you'll eat a lot of milk.
Yeah, 4 to 5 gallons is...
He's also got, 4 kids and 2 adults that drink milk.
And wife
doesn't drink milk?
Wife doesn't drink milk. I drink a lot.
One adult that drinks milk.
But, I would say the oldest and the youngest probably go through a gallon a week by themselves. Neil and Walker. They're just... Walker is an extremely picky eater. So, cereal is one of his jams. And, he'll eat a lot of it. And so often we're, tired and don't want to deal with the pickiness. Or, can I have cereal for dinner? Sure. Why not? We're tired. Go for it.
I don't know how your athlete finds the energy to be a stud athlete like he is without having more protein.
He eats cereal on top of... Cereal is his snack all the time.
All right.
On top of...
I would guess there'd have to be lots of meat in there.
There's too much.
Yeah.
Too much. He made ribs the other night. That's one great thing about my oldest is we can tell him, hey, go cook dinner tonight, and he'll do it for us. And
nice.
He's really good at it, too.
Nice.
He's a great cook. So he smoked some ribs while I was at work the other day. And, he ate a whole rack himself. Not a joke. He will put them away. So
That's why we refer to him around the building as D1.
I don't think so. But no. They need... he's referred to around the Friendship Building as get some upper body. Find some upper body strength.
Yeah, we've also started calling him NIL.
I don't think so either. Oh, man. That's really all we're in it for.
It's just the NIL.
Just trying. Not him, just me. I'm going to use him to...
Well, I've heard you can get a house built for you. And
I've heard that, too.
And other things, too. So
houses,
good luck with that.
And gyms and...
$2 or $3 billion. Yeah.
I did notice that Choice was driving the new Lamborghini today, so that was kind of cool to see.
Yeah. The convertible Lambo truck was really a good look choice. Good pick.
Convertible Lambo truck.
Here's what's crazy. That exists.
The Cybertruck is actually what I'm going after.
Okay.
I've seen a few of those around town.
There's a couple. Yeah.
The Cybertruck.
There's one that lives in my neighborhood somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was coming up here on a weekend, and as I got onto the street to head this direction, he was right in front of me.
Was it a silver one? Because
I don't think I've seen another color other than silver.
I saw a black one on Milwaukee the other day. So.
Oh, really? I've not seen a black one either.
I saw a black one, and then someone else had a blue one in town. So
okay.
I guess you have to get that custom done, because I don't think they come in anything but silver. But the old Cybertrucks are rolling around.
Now, if only I could see a DeLorean. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Someone says, ask Level, he knows. I don't know what that was in regards to, but Level does know a lot of things.
He'll know what bowl game we're going to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Look at that. That is a professional segue. Attaboy, Jamie. We do have bowl projections. And I got to tell you, I'm not super,
Not liking it?
Jazzed out about all of these bowl projections. We have sporting news. Athlon Sports, The Athletic.
They all came out on one day?
No, these are within about a week or so.
Okay.
So some of these are people are updating. These are post-spring bowl projections. So there's one that's fairly old, but these are just the ones that they've done after the spring. One of them came out yesterday or the day before. I think that was The Athletic. But here's what here's what currently holds for the bowl projections out there. Sporting News has Texas Tech in the First Responder Bowl against Navy. That would be a bit of a disappointment.
It would.
The good news is Texas Tech is included in all of these. No one's projecting the Red Raiders to
5 and
not
7?
make
Okay.
a bowl game. So that's not always the case. But I got to tell you, if we're sitting here in December and playing in the First Responder Bowl against anybody, I'm fairly disappointed.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Go on to Athlon Sports next, and a step up, going to Phoenix, or Tempe, I guess. I don't know where they play this one now. Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Texas Tech versus Minnesota.
Again,
Bit disappointing.
I would agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Especially that opponent again.
Yeah. Move on to the Action Network. Same thing. Guaranteed Rate Bowl against Illinois, which Action Network puts a line out. They would have Texas Tech as a 5-point favorite in that game. If you care.
Got a few games between now and
Yeah,
then.
you can theoretically bet on that. No, you can't. I don't know where you could place one. 24/7 Sports. Once again, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Texas Tech versus the mighty Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Have we ever played them in anything? I don't remember.
Probably like women's basketball in an NCAA tournament
Probably,
or something.
yeah, but I can't come up with anything off the top of my head. And then the final one is college football news. Guaranteed Rate Bowl against Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Has Wisconsin at 6-6 and Texas Tech at 7-5.
I guess it's all fair. I mean, just feeling like you lost key guys from last year, I guess.
I guess.
But I feel like the Red Raiders will outperform those projections, but
I hope so. I hope so.
that's good. Let it motivate you, Red Raiders.
Let's go. We'll continue this conversation on the other side of This Day in Sports History. That's coming up next on Double T 97.3.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
He's Jamie. I'm Choice. Jeff McGuire across the way. You're listening to The Morning Drive on Double T 97.3, and we kick it over to Jeff for This Day in Sports History.
Going to start in 1931 because official marathon runner of the Morning Drive, Paavo Nurmi, runs a world record 2-mile, 8 minutes, 59.6 seconds. Broke the 9-minute mark.
Sounds fast.
Faster than I could run it.
Oh,
Probably faster than I could run 1 mile.
Probably. 8:59. That's kicking it.
That's getting after it.
Yeah.
1949, Indian pitcher Bob Lemon hits 2 home runs and beats the Senators 7-5.
Guy seemed like a real lemon.
1958, Ted Williams is fined $250 for spitting at Boston fans again.
That was his home fans.
And
I mean,
the key word there is again. This isn't the first time that he's been fined for spitting at them.
Ted was the nice guy, though.
1968, Hoyt Wilhelm pitches in a record 907th Major League game, breaking Cy Young's record for pitching appearances. Difference being is that, Cy Young was starting games and Hoyt wasn't. 1977, Pete Rose passes Frankie Fritsch as the switch hit leader with 2,881. 1983, George Brett loses his ever-loving mind.
As he should have.
Pine tar on his bat. Home run.
You think he went too crazy?
Do I think he went too crazy? I think a lot of things about that.
You think they shouldn't have given the home run back?
I think the rule's stupid. I think it was followed correctly by the umpires on the field, but their reasoning for overturning it later is just dumb. It admits that their rule is stupid because they said, well, we don't think the height of the pine tar affected the home. Okay, well then what's the rule in place?
Yeah, why do you have the rule in place? So I think, but to me it was one of those, hey, the rule's in place, but we never enforce it. Well, we've seen that in sports, right? I'm trying to think of an example, but we see...
Traveling in the NBA?
Okay.
If you have the rule, you go by the rule.
But it's one of those where 99% of the time
after
we're not going to enforce this.
After the season is over, you decide, you know what, it's not affecting home runs, then you change it. You don't change it in the middle of a game.
You know, it's the same as the replay rule they had in place for pass interference that one year. It's like, we all know what the right call is here, but they're not going to call it correctly.
Just bitterness and immaturity of NFL umpires. We refuse to accept that we are ever wrong.
Probably some truth there.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2017, former Red Raider Josh Tomlin pitches for the Cleveland Indians, going 6 innings, giving up 2 runs, striking out 6 in a 6-2 win over Cincinnati. Not going to lie, today's foods, I don't know that I could be more out on.
Oh.
Happy National Drive-Thru Day. You know, sitting in your car waiting for your food and burning gas. And Happy National Tequila Day.
What if you mix the two?
So if you're going to a fast food joint...
I go inside.
Really?
Every time.
Oh my gosh, no. It depends the joint. Because some are really slow. Like the Texas orange and white stripes. They're slow. You know, if you're going there, it's going to take
I had
a
no
while.
idea.
You didn't know that?
I had no clue.
But don't throw your trash in the trash can from there. It's a bad idea. You get chastised by some grandma.
The number of times I've beaten the drive-thru guy walking into the store is too numerous to count.
Golden Arches is almost always very speedy to me. Like, I feel like I would be wasting time going inside there.
I think there's probably times when you would beat it. Absolutely depends on how many people are in the fast food line.
Yeah.
I also think, and this is not a shot at Jeff, it's a difference between Jeff and I. Okay? Some people, I think you're more likely to go inside if you're a more social person. I think you're more likely to stay in your car.
You want to avoid people.
If you're more likely to stay in the car if you're less social person.
I'd probably subscribe to some of that too.
Yeah.
But
that's a difference between Jeff and I.
So what about
the big factor for me is that I know I'm not going to be burning a half a gallon of gas waiting for the person in front of me who's never ordered it at McDonald's before.
Why is your truck burning so much?
Because the person in front of me took 30 minutes to order a cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke.
Would you quit getting after my family on things today?
Seems like
the menu that hasn't changed in 30 years. They don't know how to order.
But if you got 4 people in the back seat,
this is not about gas. This is about impatience.
Yeah, that's impatience.
You sounded just like Chuck Heinz there.
That's why I go inside.
I'm not gonna wait on you people.
Yes.
What was the tequila? What's wrong with that?
I appreciate Jose for all the things that he does for all of my friends. Jose and I are not good friends
because of a bad experience. Because that's
I've never had a good experience. Okay. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the taste.
Okay.
I've had good stuff. I've had bad stuff. I've had cheap stuff. I've had really good. I don't like any of it. Not my jam. I like it when the liquor is brown. That's what I like.
You can get brown tequila.
It's not as good. Happy birthday, Jennifer Lopez, 55. Kristen Chenoweth, 56. Carl Malone, 61. Barry Bonds, 60. Linda Carter, 73. And Rick Fox is 55.
Okay.
And on this day, 1945,
he was great and he got game.
I was going to go with Holes, but...
Rick Fox was in Holes?
He was Sweet Feet in the movie Holes. He played.
Didn't he also cheat on Vanessa Williams? I know they were married.
I have no idea.
He was the Texas Rangers superstar. Played for the Texas Rangers in the movie Holes.
Okay. Never seen Holes.
You need to watch it. Mm-hmm. It's a really good movie.
Where'd you go to college?
Syracuse.
North Carolina.
It's close enough.
1945, through an interpreter, President Harry S. Truman hints to Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin that the United States has successfully developed a new weapon. In his diary, Truman privately referred to the weapon as the atomic bomb as the most terrible bomb in the history of the world. The United States had successfully tested the world's first atomic weapon near Alamogordo, New Mexico on July 16, 1945. Truman received the news while he was in Germany conferring with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin on post-World War II policy in Europe. And that is this day in sports history.
Did either of you watch Oppenheimer?
Not yet. It's on my list.
It's long, but it's good. Educational. Educational with the seems slanted too, but every movie is nowadays. Like it was an anti-Truman, had an anti-Truman slant to the movie. So.
It's a good thing shows that Choice and I do are not slanted.
Never. Straightforward.
Towards everything being rosy for the Red Raiders.
That's right.
We are not slanted
not at all.
We are right down the middle.
Which I will tell you why all those stupid bowl projections are wrong coming up next. The Ted Williams thing, is that more of an indictment on him or the Boston fans?
It's
spinning twice towards the Boston fans.
Probably a combination of both.
Okay.
But as I say, as a fan of New York teams, New Yorkers and Bostonians, they're the same people.
They are.
The same people.
If you said that to either one of them, they would try to kill you. And they're the same people for that.
Sure.
It's the Morning Drive on Double T 97.3.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
So happy to be part of your Wednesday morning. It is the Morning Drive on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent in First United Bank studio this morning. Jeff McGuire handling us as usual. Keep the thoughts, the comments coming in. Plenty on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We appreciate the participation there. Well, let's catch up there. Like Central Texas Hank says, following this bowl conversation is like unraveling a plate of spaghetti. I'm still a little confused on everything Jeff was saying with the order and all that, but I mean, there's a lot of teams, and they're not putting everybody with their league necessarily, so it's all confusing.
Yeah, you both were confusing me, so
okay.
I just
fell asleep over there.
No, I don't know. I started watching tennis or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, not blinded, Jamie. We have been overshadowed. No one we play will overshadow this year. Not that we necessarily overshadow all of our opponents. Okay.
When we play Colorado, we'll be overshadowed. They'll be talking about
we will not
Colorado.
be the story during that game unless we're undefeated or something.
Yeah.
In 1988, I worked for a company in Plainview owned by the Upjohn Company. Our checks literally came from Kalamazoo, Michigan. True story.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Where's the Cotton Bowl in the pecking order? Not in the Big 12 pecking order anymore. Cotton Bowl is now one of the college football playoff games every year. So it's the Rose Bowl, the
Fiesta,
Sugar. Who are we missing? That's 4.
Orange.
There's 6. Orange. And another one. Peach Bowl's not part of it now, right?
NIL Bowl.
That's it. Mm-hmm. It's got to be. So the Cotton Bowl, this year will be different than any other year, obviously, because you've got 12 teams. The first round will all be in on-campus sites, which I'm really excited for. Just the dream, and that's what it is. The dream of ever having one of those in Lubbock, Texas, is pretty amazing.
No doubt.
I'm not sure.
I think that's one of the reasons why they really want to push to 16 is those 4 that get the bye are probably like, man, we want to get to host.
I think you're right. I think there will be some jealousy. That's one thing I think after this first year, there will be some jealousy of the bye teams.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the coaches and the teams themselves because they'll enjoy the rest, but the administrations looking over at, say Texas is the number 5 seed. And Bama is the number 4 seed. And they look over at Texas and be like, man, look at the revenue streaming
that
in.
They just made
for
off of.
what? Because that'll be the biggest game that's ever been on a campus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Imagine us getting to host our 8th game of the year.
Yeah. I mean, the thought of that, say you're hosting Penn State.
You think it'll be like a regional and all the rules will change and it'll be stupid? Like you can't use your own locker room?
No, because the NCAA doesn't have any involvement in this. No, I don't think that. I think it will be.
You can't play your fight song after the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
dumb.
just
Like think about
your PA announcer can't act excited when he says touchdown Red Raiders. I mean, just
how dumb would that be? No, just the thought of that, of Michigan or Notre Dame coming to your place for the college football playoff is amazing, and knowing that's a possibility is pretty amazing. So someone in the Big 12 is likely going to get that this year. I don't know. Maybe you're not.
You got to be.
You got to be top 8 or 5 through 8 is what you got to be the host team.
5, 6, 7, or 8.
So what does that take? An 11-1 season for a Big 12 team? Probably. 12-0 probably gets you in the top 4. No guarantees on that.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a 12-0 team. 11-1.
I don't think 2 Big 12 teams in the top 8.
Yeah, most likely you're going to be 9 through 12 in that situation as a Big 12 team. But either way, it's a pretty attractive thought. The college football quarterfinals this year are the Fiesta Bowl, the Peach Bowl, that was the other one, Sugar Bowl, and Rose Bowl. The semifinals will be the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl. So the New Year's Six all are part of the playoff now, which I guess you can't call them the New Year's Six anymore because 2 of them are January 9th and January 10th, which is interesting to me. They don't put them on the same day. Do you like that?
I get it.
In the semifinals?
I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I have them both in prime time or whatever. Yeah,
I'm fine with it because you have 10, 11 days between that and the national title game. So, yeah, hopefully that
I would be fine with
some
back-to-back, too.
Sure.
The AFC and NFC championship game.
Yep. This back to the ordering thing. Have your credit card out and know your order before you drive up to order.
Yeah.
You don't have to have your credit card out yet because you're not paying right away.
Yeah.
But the menu hasn't changed.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about during the break. We were continuing this conversation, and I just think there's confused people inside who don't know the menu either. I think it's both ways. Yeah.
Someone says, I agree with Jamie on the drive-through line. I work with people all day in peace and quiet, and the drive-through line is nice. Plus, I can listen to the Morning Driver Tech Talk.
There you go. There you go.
See, and that's what's funny. I listen to the Morning Drive every day. I want to hear somebody else talk.
I just don't want to hear anybody else talk.
This one,
their last name is Lent.
Dan in Dallas says, I see a similarity between Chuck and Chois. Chuck has conversation starters. Chois has conversation starter questions like, what time is the game? All right. I was legitimately trying to figure out what time the game was.
The story that Chuck told us yesterday when he told us Jeff was it a professor that he had that had told him they ended every Friday with, okay, here's a conversation starter for the weekend.
Yep.
I'm embarrassed to tell you that I wanted to meet this person and throat punch him.
Don't be embarrassed. Be proud of that. Be proud of that.
I'm not a very violent person, but I really wanted to maybe like a flying kick.
A flying kick?
Yes.
How about go roundhouse kick? Go Chuck Norris.
That sounds like I'll injure myself.
Can you demonstrate during the break how high you can kick?
Could he? Yes. Will he? No.
I'll hold one of your water bottles over there in my hand and see if you can kick it out of my hand.
No. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that.
No? I think it'd be a lot of fun.
And I'm definitely not holding
Jeff
it for
will video. Oh, come on.
Because you will accidentally
I promise you I
me.
can kick your head if I wanted to. I have.
Only one person in that room has broken somebody's ribs.
You can absolutely do this to Clint. Yes.
Okay. That actually sounds like a great exercise later. No, I don't know if this is sarcasm or not. Hard to tell through text, but no one knows how great Joey is other than Tech fans. Are you reading that as sarcastic? I don't know.
I don't know. You could take it either way. I think we all probably believe in our coach and our team more than others do because we look at things from, we want to be positive and we want our team to be good and all that. So, I mean, I think there's some of that, but I don't think that we're the only team that's like that.
Yeah,
every team is like that.
That's how I feel, honestly. Mm-hmm. I know I'm kind of reading it as sarcasm, but I do feel like the world, I'm hoping the world is kind of put on notice of, this Joey McGuire guy is good in West Texas after this season. I'm hoping that's the case.
Okay.
I'm hoping that it is actually a true statement of, hey, we see how good he is kind of at a local regional level. Because I think if you ask most of the coaches in the Big 12, they feel pretty good about Joey McGuire.
No, there were some comments.
There were some. That's true. There's some. If you ask
Dion loves him, though.
I was about to say, if you ask Dion.
I wouldn't ask
Coach
Dion.
Prime.
Well, you would. Somebody did.
Jackwagons. Yeah, but I think that's where you sit. And Chris Level tells you hope is not a strategy, but I'm hoping that's where you are at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Jamie's question coming up next. It's the Morning Drive on Double T 97.3.
This is the Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3, presented today by someone not named Jamie, is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, guys. Stealing kind of somebody's thunder, if I had to guess, for later in the program or later in the day. We've been talking hot and heavy today about bowl selections and Big 12 ties.
Okay.
So, gentlemen, we all agree that the Independence Bowl would stink, as the projections that we saw earlier. That would not be where we would want Texas Tech to play.
Which is where we were last year.
So, with your current expectations and what you think is going to happen, call your shot. Texas Tech plays in what bowl game this year? Your bowl options are the College Football Playoff, the Alamo Bowl, the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the Texas Bowl, the Liberty Bowl, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, the Independence Bowl, or if you think we fall far enough, you can go in a wild card round.
So others are Armed Forces, First Responder, and back to Shreveport. Yeah.
Call your shot.
I think Texas Tech is playing in Orlando this year at the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That's where I would project the Red Raiders. Right in there competing for a Big 12 title. Because I think the Red Raiders are somewhere in about the 6-3-ish range in Big 12 play. It has you somewhere around 9-3 or 8-4.
Alamo is ahead of Pop-Tarts, correct?
Correct.
Yes, Alamo is second.
Alamo essentially would be your second place team in the Big 12. If you're not getting an at-large bid for the college football playoff.
And keeping in mind that it's who gets to pick at that point, they can pick anybody, but they generally pick the better team.
Right.
I'm going to go Liberty Bowl.
Liberty.
2 spots down from where Choice has you.
What would your record be then?
I still think you could be a 5-4 team and be in the Liberty Bowl.
Okay. So 5-4 would match what you've been the last. What 4 games are you losing in the Big 12? You only have 4 road games. Because I have Texas Tech. Personally, I got you 7-0 at home this year. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but I think I look at each game individually, and honestly, I think you should win 7 games, and I also think Tech's going to win the game in Fort Worth. Probably lose 3. Probably lose about 3 in the other Big 12 road games. So I think Tech's 6-3.
Iowa State, Oklahoma State, and Arizona feel like penciled in losses right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
Understand.
Penciled in.
Right, no, not in pen.
Yeah.
So you think you stumble somewhere else?
I think it could be TCU. I mean, I think you could. I mean, there are teams that are good enough to beat you, like West Virginia at home, whatever. But yeah, I think you get 4 Big 12 losses.
Okay.
I have Texas Tech playing in the Texas Bowl, so I'm kind of right between where you two guys are. Going back to Houston.
I think you probably need to be 6-3 to play in the Texas Bowl this year. Looking at overall teams, I think you can be 5-4 to play in the Liberty Bowl.
Oh, in Big 12 play.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, we're missing
I think
some
you
games
need
of choice.
to get to the Pop-Tarts Bowl or Texas Bowl, which those are right there together. I think you need to be 6-3. Now, the one thing we're not factoring is where Arizona and Utah.
Sure.
Because those two teams are
Pac-12.
Yeah, they're Pac-12 ties.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing in the Pac-12 Bowl. So
it's going to make that Selection Sunday day interesting, just figuring all that out.
Sure, it is.
Well, the 5 minutes after they spend 3 hours talking about the college football playoff.
Yeah, I didn't say I was going to watch it.
So I'm going to... Well,
I refuse.
Now, the branching off of your question, Jeff, what is in your own mind or heart an acceptable bowl for Tech to play in?
I don't really look at the bowl to decide whether it's acceptable. I mean, because what if you had some crazy scenario where, I mean, you were 8-4 and you were a good football team, but there were a bunch of teams in the conference that were really bad, but there were a bunch that were good. And so there were other 8-4 teams, and you got pushed down to one of these bowls that you thought you were better than, but it was just because a bunch of teams had the same record, and you didn't get chosen for one of the higher ones. It'd be disappointing, but I'm not going to be mad at Texas Tech for that.
Well, I think I can look at it and guess that Utah and Arizona are going to be top 6 in this league. I can guess that. So,
yes.
So wipe them out as far as, well, if Utah's your representative in the college football playoff, then that, I guess, changes things a little bit. But with that being said, I feel like this team should be 6-3. My personal recommendation for this team is
recommendation.
My doctor recommendation is
I would recommend they go 9-0.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I think this team should be at least 6-3 this year. That's where I think they are in Big 12 play, and to me, that's Texas Bowl and up, based off of just a numbers game. So, like you said, you don't know how teams get knocked down and up, but I think kind of looking at it from just a generic baseline, this is what it should be with the numbers. I think the Texas Bowl is where I'd set that floor for Texas Tech, of being like, okay, you're making progress, you're moving on up, because you have been honestly, and part of it is what you've been to in the last 3 years. You've been to the Liberty Bowl, you've been to Shreveport, and you've been to Houston, which was the Texas Bowl, but I think that's moved up in the pecking order in the last couple of years too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I want to see the Red Raiders move up in the bowl pecking order to feel that progress continue to go in the right direction. Y'all can answer that or other things on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Got a couple of other questions there. We'll get to those on the other side of some headlines with the boom, boom, boom.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Happy Hump Day, everyone. It's the Morning Drive on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. Double T 97.3 mobile app. Brought to you by Happy State Bank and on television, Fox 34 News Now. Glad that you've made us part of your hump day. You can dial us up on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. If you're feeling chatty, you can hop on there. Or on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. He's Jamie Lent. I'm Chois Woodman. Jeff McGuire back behind the glass. You can access that Yates Flooring Center chat line through the Double T 97.3 mobile app. You can take that mobile app just about anywhere with you. Even listen in out in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania.
Seems like that should be in Jersey.
You would think.
Yeah.
But Snooki's actually hanging out in Pennsylvania. That was your favorite, right?
She?
I said that.
Yeah, is Snooki? Is that a she?
I think that's a that nowadays. You can't assume anything.
Okay. That is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She.
Who is another character on said show?
I don't think I could name anybody else.
Jeff?
Snooki, and then everybody else that has slicked back hair and tats and tank tops and muscly muscles.
I cannot believe
Oil.
I am looking up Jersey Shore
characters. I bet one or two more are going to sound familiar to me afterwards. I honestly never ever watched the show, but there were enough commercials and people talking about it when I was in high school that.
DJ Polly D.
Nope.
Angela. There's no way I'm going to get that last name right. I'm not even going to try. I don't care enough. Yeah, no. I'm going to let you look it up. That's the only one that I even recognize of the group. Jenny Farley?
No. Nicole Polizzi. That's Snooki, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, that is.
Mike Sorrentino. Vinny. What a
I bet he goes by Mikey.
No.
He goes by Mikey.
Okay, you're probably right. Mm-hmm. Ronnie Ortiz Magro. I mean, that seems like your guy.
Yeah.
Jamie for sure.
Now I have to delete my phone.
Yeah, you're going to get Jersey Shore stuff.
The whole phone. He's going to delete his phone.
You should have done that on the work computer.
Yeah.
That way Clint could have been getting the Jersey Shore ads instead of you.
You realize I work here in the morning, too?
Yeah.
I'd be getting them, too.
Plenty rolling in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll catch up with some of that. Bobby Hot Dog says, Choice, yesterday when they were talking about Dwayne Slay, I asked Clint how much more needling it would take before you snapped and laid him out, a la Dwayne Slay. He scoffed at the notion and implied that you were a big sissy and capable of such a hit. What are your thoughts? My thoughts is if it didn't get me fired, I would do it this afternoon.
Do you really think it would get you fired?
If Clint tattled to the right people and if I broke anything.
Who would be the right people?
HR.
Do I have to fill his shift?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, then I would be mad at
Jamie
you.
would be mad at that if I. But I don't think he would handle broken ribs the same way Hacks would, which would be taken off work. I don't think.
I tend to think Clint would be here just to prove that you didn't.
That I
didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
Even though he's wincing every time he talks.
I absolutely. If I got a cheap shot, I could do the Dwayne Slay thing. Like if Clint is standing still, not moving, yeah, I could do it. Just takes the shoulder to the gut.
Where would you?
You don't know how happy I am right now. Just the thought of being able to do that to Clint.
We really should get one of these, whether high school or tech or whatever, these athletic departments to give us full pads and just let those two just level each other. Like you have to be a
drill type stuff?
No, you have to be a tackling dummy and let you two just level each other.
That sounds great. Because
you just have to sit there and take it.
Because I know Clint's all upper body and he wouldn't get much driving force from the legs, so I would be okay. And I'm heavy legs, so
gosh.
This is what would happen though.
This sounds great.
Whoever went first would do a full normal tackle. Whoever went second would clothesline the other person. It wouldn't be a tackle. It would be a 1970s style clothesline. I'm knocking your head off.
Surely, I mean, you've got connections, Choice, in the football. program, or Coach Norwood over there. I mean, your son is, a superstar in the making for him. Surely he'd let you borrow some friendship gear.
I think we could have some serious fun with this.
I guarantee you there's a football coach listening right now. I guarantee you that would say, hey, for some school in our area, yes, come to our field. Let's do this.
Yeah, put on all our gear and let's let Clint get laid out like a rag doll. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or there's some basketball coaches that are like, come to our school. I want to see Chois get laid out.
This isn't going to happen. Not for basketball.
I think we have a new category for something on the Yates Flooring Center chat line for this year. We always do the horse race every year, and we collect the names throughout the year.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe this year we do terrible horse names.
Heavy Legs. I think Heavy Legs was already on the horse name list last year, so that one's got to be retired. Yeah, because Chuck used it enough on me that it made the list. Some others from the chat line. Bullfighter posted a picture of me looking like DJ Pauly D, which is pretty scary. I watched 0 episodes, but even I couldn't escape Pauly D and Mike the Situation. He was at the Trump roast. Okay.
Couldn't pick most of that cast out of a lineup with 2 people and a good hint.
Yeah. Someone responded, says Choice goes for the ribs. Just ask Hacks. I would for Clint intentionally. Hacks just didn't get out of the way. That was his bad.
What did you hit him with?
Like my body.
Yeah, I know it was your body. Was it your shoulder? Was it your knee? I mean,
I don't even know, Jamie. Like
the time that you attempted to injure me, you kicked.
That was just for separation on the layup. And then Jeff called a foul on you.
You went up with a one-legged floater and kicked your front leg at me.
It's not my fault.
Well, whose fault was it? I
can't control my limbs and how they flail. With Hacks, he stepped in front of me as I'm going to the rim, and it takes...
That's good. That's good courage by him.
A lot of stoppage to try to slow down 200.
So did you hit him with your shoulder?
I guess. Okay. I don't think so. I think it may have been the elbow.
Oh, gosh.
It was on the left side, and I may have separated it.
I didn't So you threw an elbow at him.
I don't know. I think it was shoulder. Whatever it was, Hacks has weak ribs. That's all.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.